Hey everyone, so in today's video we're going to be taking a look at these BeatsX headphones. So these actually came free as part of my mobile phone contract that I recently signed up with EE here in the UK. So as part of the deal for that, they included some BeatsX headphones. Now I've never actually owned any Beats headphones in the past. And the only reason I'm actually interested in these particular ones, and I didn't ask them to simply just give me a credit or something, was basically because these ones are actually meant to be compatible with the W1 chip. So basically it has the same pairing method essentially as all of the Apple AirPods. Okay, so looking at the box, you've got a little picture of them there. So these are earbuds essentially, but basically as you can see they're meant to have 8 hours battery life, and obviously they have this sort of fast charge, 5 minutes for 2 hours. Supposedly comes with multiple tips, and that's about it. So what we'll do is let's get this opened up and see what we get. So straight up we have the actual earbuds themselves. So I'm doing this through the camera, so it's kind of awkward to actually see what I'm doing. Okay, so these will only be used at home. I won't be using these out and about or anything like that. The only time I'll probably use these is when I'm probably watching something on the iPad, something like that maybe. So it doesn't really matter too much, the practicality and everything of them. So obviously these are corded essentially around the back of your neck. So basically you wear these around the back of your neck, and let's take a look. So this, I'm guessing, is the actual battery on it, and there I believe that is a USB-C charging port. And then on the other side, I'm guessing this has been done just to try and level out the actual weight to make it a bit more easier to manage. I think this might actually also be a battery unit as well. So basically 2 battery units. Now this particular band section does seem quite rigid in terms of it wants to, almost like a memory, so it wants to go back to that particular shape. So that's quite good, because what it will do is once you've got this around the back of your neck, obviously it'll mean that it stays in position. Let's just put that to a side for a second and let's see if there is anything else that we get in the pack. Okay, so the card was literally just to lift it out. So in the pack you get, once again, as most of these kind of things tend to do, you get a very short USB-C cable, which I don't mind, but the only thing with these kind of cables is the fact that if you've got somewhere where you're plugging this in, then you're not going to have this on a desk or something. So I get for travel and everything like that they want them to make them as compact as possible. Actually no, sorry, I'm completely wrong here. So because these are Apple, and this is obviously since Apple acquired them, this is actually a Lightning connection. So that actually makes it a bit easier for me, because obviously I do have loads of Lightning cables lying about. So yeah, that's actually, I'm actually kind of pleased. I'm probably the only one, because most tech reviewers out there are probably going to be wanting USB-C everything, but I don't actually mind that too much. So they actually give 3 sets of spare tips. So usually with these kind of things, say for example if the mediums usually come fitted, you won't get the mediums as well. So you'll get small and you'll get large, you won't get another set of mediums. So with this they've actually given a full spare set. So that's kind of generous of them. So you have a little user guide. Okay, so it's saying turn on. Yeah, so you have an actual power button on the stalk, which I'm guessing is that one. So what I'll do is I'll probably want to pair these with this phone that I'm actually recording with. In theory, if it's W1, then it should pair with all of your devices whenever you pair something with your Apple ID anyway, so it shouldn't really make any difference. And you do get, they've copied obviously the Apple style and given you the sticker and then some pamphlets, which here in the UK we seem to always get millions of. So we'll just pop that back in there for now. Pop this back in. Right, so what I'll do is I will just go get another phone, and what I'll do is I'll make the pairing section of this video using that particular phone. Okay, so here we are back with another phone now. So I'm recording on a 6S Plus. That obviously gives me my phone free. So the headphones were completely dead. So I did need to actually just give it a quick charge before pressing the power button did nothing. So on the actual power button itself, you do have a little LED light or just next to it. So there we go. So now that it's turned white, as you can see, it does bring up the usual kind of Apple connection style. So we'll just hit connect and it's done. So let's give this a try. And as you can see, it does bring up the battery percentage. So 12%, yeah, so it was almost completely dead. And to test out, let's just go into YouTube, and I won't watch one of theirs, so I'll go into one of mine, and let's just try this one. Okay, so first thing is obviously it doesn't have any type of in-ear detection, so I've taken them out. It's not paused. If you want to pause, I believe you have to hit the so all your controls are manual. So unlike the AirPods, basically you've got volume controls. So you've got a volume rocker, so up and down, and then the middle button is basically your play pause. So down, volume up, and then your middle is your play pause, as you can see. Sound quality wise, they're not very loud. So first off, obviously they're compared to AirPods, which I've not used massively. But they don't seem to be very loud. Hardly any bass. That's one thing I have noticed. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll do a little bit more testing and then I'll come back with first impressions. Okay, so here we are back on the 11 Pro Max recording. First impressions, not very impressed, to be honest. Not sure whether it's just purely down to the fact that the batteries are almost completely drained. It was showing as 13%, but basically the volume is very low. So I'm hoping that that is literally just a sort of precautionary measure that they introduced in order to try and eke out a bit more battery life. So basically limit your maximum volume. But basically these at home, yeah, they'll be fine. So for my use case, they should do the trick. But for people, obviously with this particular type of design, it's aimed at maybe joggers or people in the gym, things like that. And in those kind of environments, I can't imagine that these would actually perform very well, simply because they just don't get loud enough. So yeah, for people like I will be doing for the most part, where I'll just be using it around the house. And as you can see, it does have the magnetic tips, the rear of the tips, or the rear of the earbuds essentially, that basically just help keep the whole thing a bit more tidy. This, as I say, it doesn't tangle at all because of how rigid it is. Now, it doesn't actually come with any type of carrying case or anything like that. So in terms of chucking it around, placing it, storage, things like that, it's kind of a bit of a mess. And this is essentially why I rate AirPods so highly, because it eliminates all the mess of messing around with, oh, where do I put this? Is it going to get caught on something? I mean, the actual build and everything of this is very good. So it does feel quite premium. Obviously this is the soft touch kind of rubberized material, so that in itself, and just one other thing I just wanted to actually show on. So they do actually have a tiny little mark on each one for your left and right, and your left essentially is the one with your volume controls. So that's how basically, obviously once you've used it a couple of times, it'll just become second nature and you'll just pop them on. But yeah, initial impressions not great, but at the end of the day I got them free, so I'm not really complaining or anything. It's just for the brand of Beats, and obviously Apple did take over them, and obviously this is a product that was put out after that, because obviously it comes with where's it gone, so the lightning connection rather than USB-C or any other type micro USB, anything like that. Not sure what that is, but it's already got some sort of a little mark on there. Oh, it might just be a bit of the packaging that's stuck on there. But yeah, build wise, yeah, no real complaints, but it's just, as you can see, it's just all a little bit messy. It's not the same experience that you would get from another Apple product, essentially. The simplicity of it is good, because obviously it does pair in the same way. You literally just hit connect and that's it, it's done. It'll switch between all your devices in the same way. It gives you the battery percentage on that main page, which I like, in all your widgets. So from that point of view, yeah, it's all good, but it's not a product that I'd actually recommend. Now, if anybody is interested in actually purchasing some of these, they'll probably be on sale, because I believe there's a new version that's actually just been released. I'm not 100% sure in terms of what the difference will be. A lot of it will probably come down to battery life and things like that. If you do want to purchase a set of these, what I'll do is I'll try and find a link for it and chuck it in the description below. But other than that, yeah, I might do a follow-up somewhere down the line once I've had them for a little while. But initial impressions, they're not very loud. The sound quality itself is pretty decent, because the impression I have in my mind of Beats is that overpowered bass. It's the complete opposite. If anything, it's just purely vocals. It's just very, very clear. There's hardly any bass to this at all, even with the rubberized tip. So another thing, it could be that it's just got the wrong size tips on it for my particular ears, so I'll look into that as well. But as I say, that's something that I'll need to do a follow-up video on. So if you are interested in that, then obviously do subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.